Hey, this is Alex Holchett with my biweekly for October 23rd. Mhm. so kind of some stuff with funding. No word yet from the Long Necker scholarship. I think it's been like 2 weeks since I submitted that, 2.5. I reached out to Dylan Anstein's lab and he said that I might not really be in luck based on just funding situations and stuff. Which sucked. Like obviously I get if like one, I don't know, I guess I haven't asked a lot of people, but I get if one lab doesn't have funding or like but if it's like a bigger, larger problem, it's just like disappointing, I guess, as someone who's trying to get funding from the government, but the government doesn't want to fund me. So I guess kind of what I've had going on the past little bit is more professional development stuff. I did accept an internship offer with Conagra Brands, I'll be in like a gluten-free bread or like bread products. I think they make like breakfast bars and stuff, in Denver, Colorado. So there's some stuff on that 24, which is, whatever. Not thrilled with it, not upset with it. And 8 grand in relocation, which I was like, whoa, that's so much. I think last year G gave me like, 3,200 bucks or something, and I like made a profit off that. So, that's a big plus. Um, and then I've just been like finishing up interviewing. I had my final interview on Monday with Anheuser-Busch. I've been interviewing with their like Fort Collins people. I want to go to Colorado. I'm most interested in brewing, like definitely the yeast stuff is cool to me. Um, but they said I'd probably start in packaging, like business need is probably lends itself to that. Which I'm also interested in. Like I went to like a packaging expo last year, but yeah. Basically about the same per hour. Don't know the relocation. I'd assume it'd be about, 3.5, 4 grand, just like something enough for you to get like a crappy apartment. Um, but the reason I'm kind of considering them still, or was considering them maybe before I accepted my offer, their starting positions pay, I'd say, a lot more than Conagra's. And I don't know what goes into that 59 to 78 for Conagra. I mean, I'm sure I get bumped up like a touch especially if I stay in Denver, because that's like a high cost of living area. But yeah, 86 sounds a lot better than 59, to me, at least on the surface. So I guess I've been trying to figure out, I can't really tell what like if Bush does offer me, and if I were to be like, I'm gonna take that and go against my Conagra deal. So I guess you have any comments, words of wisdom on that. Um, I suppose I'd like to hear them, even though I'll probably just end up, either way, sticking with Conagra because I've already accepted that. But just stuff. 3-minute paper. It's like a Cas9 type gene editing paper. I picked it because it's kind of like wet lab and machine learning kind of combined. It's like and it kind of reminds me of our situation where we kind of have already some points of interest where we potentially want to mutate and see what's up there. So what they did was test like 20% as their training set. Um, get like experimental data and then plug it into, they use MLDE. I'm not sure if that's like up to standard anymore because this was in 2022 that this paper was written. But yeah, and then they took like the top 5 percent of the predicted um mutations, and it like turned out to be like pretty good performing in terms of picking the mutations that stick out in terms of like well performing variants, like it says here in like the bottom number 4. So I just thought it was kind of interesting because it reflected kind of the situation that we're in right now. Speaking of the situation we're in right now, haven't really done a lot on it. Um, I've been busy with school and busy with getting internships and stuff. Just kind of research has taken a back seat. Kind of reminds me of my freshman year a little bit when I was getting paid and not doing my work. At least now I'm not doing my work and not getting paid for it. But yeah, I'm not really happy with kind of the progress I've made because I feel like, it is a job, but at the same time, like it's growth and like experience for me. Um, so I'd like to kind of in the next couple weeks or, a little bit start to have some like smaller goals to just like, even if I'm not doing like 8 hours a week, maybe it's like 3 or 4, but just like trying to like work towards, getting something done. And I think that's part on me and I think part of why I haven't done much is because like I haven't met with Logan in a while. Um like I haven't had anything to update him on really, but I think just being updated on, even where he is and what he's trying to get done. Like I don't even know if he still needs the fold X stuff to get done. Like he probably could have taught himself fold X in like the 6 or 8 weeks it's been since I've last talked to him. So I think I just probably myself need to do a better job of, putting myself out there in the work and also like being involved in um the work because I'm still like, ideally I'd like to stay with this lab for, you know, until I finish my undergrad, but you know, I just need to kind of lock in there. Next little bit, same as it's been for forever. Gotta re-up the Foldex results, figure out what's going on in there. Um, yeah. So pretty much I need to talk to Logan. So yeah, not the happiest biweekly, but at least I have an internship.